let's delve straight into it. Across the Niger Delta, the scars of oil exploration are impossible to ignore. And these include polluted rivers, dying families, frequent gas flares, and communities that are being forced to live in degraded environments. The region has paid the environmental price for the nation's oil wealth for decades. But the conversation is now shifting towards justice, accountability, and restoration. A rising wave of local and international voices is demanding what is now widely recognized as climate justice. And it's a push for more than cleanups or token compensation. It's a call for accountability from oil companies, stronger environmental policies, inclusive community participation, and a shift toward a future that puts the people, their health, and the environment first. Today, we're taking a closer look at these efforts, the policies being put in place, of course, the role of activism and legal action, and the challenges still standing in the way of real progress. Joining us to unpack the ongoing push for environmental justice in the Niger Delta is Honorable Prince Godwin Eniyenere, Director General, Warri Uvwie Development Agency. Welcome on the program. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the program, Honorable. Well, we're looking at the environmental justice, and we understand the Niger Delta region has been a region where it's the goose that lays the golden egg. But over the years, with decades of oil wealth, there's always been environmental suffering. What could be the reason that even with the level of oil wealth we've been able to garner for decades, there's still that environmental suffering in the Niger Delta region? What do you think could be the problem?
Honorable, there seems to be a network issue. Can you hear us here in the studio? Well, we're still trying to connect with Honorable Prince Godwin Eniyenere, Director General, Warri Uvwie Development Agency, who is supposed to engage us in a conversation on climate justice. We're just trying to establish a smooth connection. Honorable, can you hear us in the studio?
Honorable, good afternoon.
Honorable Prince, can you hear me?
All right. Well, we try to...
All right. Honorable Prince, can you hear me now? Oh, I think we're going to sort that out and have this conversation with Honorable Prince Godwin Eniyenere, Director General, Warri Uvwie Development Agency, who'll be speaking to us on the ongoing push for environmental justice in the Niger Delta, and of course, efforts that have been put in place by stakeholders and persons who know what the true demands of the Niger Delta regions are, and how the issue of climate justice has affected the common man in the Niger Delta region, and of course, efforts or renewed efforts that are being called upon to be propagated by the different stakeholders in the Niger Delta region and across Nigeria, considering, of course, that the Niger Delta region is responsible for over 80% of the wealth that is being enjoyed across the country. You're welcome on the program once again, Honorable Prince Godwin Eniyenere. If you can hear me now.
I can hear you now.
Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to Niger Delta today.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
All right, Honorable. Well, I'd just like to ask you to bring us up to speed with this whole conversation around climate justice in the Niger Delta region, taking into cognizance the years of neglect that the Niger Delta region has endured, and efforts that are being made, which of course stakeholders believe are simply insufficient, and they're calling for more, especially for persons who are suffering all manner of hazards in the Niger Delta region, talking about the health concerns and the environmental degradation that has characterized these explorations. I'd like you to speak clearly on the issue of climate justice and how this is important now.
Yeah, coming on and off, yeah, breaking. I just don't know, but I can hear you talk about climate justice. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Honorable. Please go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, the network is still fluctuating, but if I heard you right, you talked about climate justice, what we feel in Niger Delta. It is obvious not enough is being done in Niger Delta. We are the people that lays the golden egg, and the attention from the top down to the bottom is still, the gap is still wide. We have been neglected. The people within the oil Niger Delta region, they are not cared for. I must think that it is really tough back here in Niger Delta, and we need more attention from the top to the bottom.
Okay, Honorable Godwin, what specifically are the critical environmental injustices faced by local communities in the Niger Delta region?
21st century, as we speak, I can beat my chest and I'm able to tell you that water is still a problem. Those that are producing this golden facility that the entire nation is taking up to, they still find it difficult. Water as common, our ship as water. Water is still a problem. Go look at the length and breadth of Niger Delta. Roads is still a problem. As at today, if one is coming from Lagos, from Benin to Port Harcourt to Calabar, it's a problem. Not to talk about those that live within the oil region, those close to the oil well. Light is an issue. Anything that is supposed to be social amenity is still part of it. So I think the government, federal government, is not being fair to those of us from the Niger Delta.
All right, Honorable Prince Godwin Eniyenere, is it possible to talk about climate justice in the Niger Delta without first delivering the issue of historic justice? Now, we talk about dating back to the time of the discovery of oil in Olobori and coming all the way down to 1995, talking about the mishap and the issues surrounding the death of Ken Saro-Wiwa and his compatriots. Do you think that the issue of the historical value of the Niger Delta region has been addressed enough? And do you see a connect between what has happened historically and the clamors now for climate justice? Honorable Eniyenere, can you hear me?
I cannot hear you, but I think I picked when you talked about the issue of what happened to Ken Saro-Wiwa and
the historical value of that compared to these calls for climate justice now. Are we following through effectively? Is the government following through effectively? Can we talk about climate justice now if we haven't addressed the historical values effectively?
I still want to say that there's nothing like climate justice. On television, on paper, we hear people talking about, from the immediate past administration, they'll be talking about bringing life back to the Niger Delta, and that has got to do with the Ogoni. Too many things happened, but I still want to say that from Ogoni to the rest of the Niger Delta, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. There's no justice, no recognition, and I beg to say that when we need justice and attention back here in the Niger Delta.
But if we're also going to look at cases of injustice, that will also be taking us to the legal system in the country and also internationally. But looking at specifically the Niger Delta region, do you think the legal system in the country has been fair in delivering cases where would favor the people of the Niger Delta region and to ensure that the environment is preserved as well as the people and their livelihood?
I would say no. The justice system has been very, 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 very unfair. Even if they state the reverse, which is the obvious, implementation is another thing, and that has got to do with the government, the federal government. Neglect has been the order of the day. So if justice system says one thing, all about the implementation from the federal government, I still want to say that the system has been 100% unfair to us back here in the Niger Delta region.
All right, Honorable Prince Eniyenere, well, who do you think should be the ones leading the conversation around climate justice? Is it still the same IOCs who are being accused of the degradation in the environment? Because it's as if they are still the ones championing the cause or the calls for change in energy transition and all of that. How do you think the model should be so that the needed changes that we hope to see in the Niger Delta region can truly be visible?
I want to say it's going to be total. The IOCs definitely will be involved. It's a collective thing. It's a two-way approach to whatever. There's still the IOCs are equally implementing divide and rule where the center cannot hold. So, but it all depends on the willingness from the top, that is the federal government. If the will is there, definitely what we want to achieve must be achieved.
Okay, Honorable Godwin, there has been the Petroleum Industry Act, and that has been functional. But I think there are some agitations about adjustment. But the Petroleum Industry Act was created to ensure that the people in the Niger Delta region and those in the oil-producing regions can have a fair hearing and also fair sharing of some of the resources made from the oil and gas sector. Don't you think this has been able to achieve, or this has achieved its aim, or where do you think the bottlenecks are in mandating or bringing a full implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act?
Yeah, like I still want to repeat myself. It must be from bottom up approach to have a holistic benefit from those of us from the Niger Delta region. The federal government still have the key, have all in ensuring that things works out. What you're saying now is just grammar. Just grammar. You can get it if you really want. Bringing in the Petroleum Act and what have you, interpretation and implementation is what matters most. So I still want to tell us that whatever thing that is happening in the Niger Delta, it all depends on the willingness from the federal government to implement, because we are those that lays the golden egg, and benefit should be total. Those mining goods today from elsewhere, nobody, the benefit is not total, but that from the Niger Delta is total. It covers everybody. The benefit is for us.
It covers everybody. The benefit is for us all as Nigerians. So how come we play a little bit of politics with what is happening in the Niger Delta region?
All right. When we talk about the issue of the environment and how it affects persons living in the Niger Delta region, specifically mentioning the issue of flood mitigation in the Niger Delta and how these relates to every other aspect of the well-being of persons living here, how would you want that aspect to be approached, especially when we want to see much needed changes in the environment in the Niger Delta?
Talking about flood, I don't really think I will be dwelling much on it just now. But as a Deltan, I know the Delta State government, our governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Warri, we already have a committee put in place, flood control committee that is already in place in Asaba, which I'm a member. But Delta State, we need the support, because when it happens, it's not just one. Even those from neighboring states, we suffer the same. So I will not be dwelling on how to mitigate the flood challenges. More so now that we are very, very much aware that it's inevitable. You know, it's like
All right, Honorable Prince Godwin, just a parting shot now as we wind down the conversation, if you can hear me. Just a parting shot now. If you were to be in a position to give a bright idea as to what you feel can be done specifically to remedy the many clamors in the Niger Delta region, talking about better management, better inclusivity, and being carried along, especially when it comes to decision making in what is produced in the Niger Delta region, what would that advice be? What would that idea be?
My advice would be simple. Those from the region, those from the locality should be part of any decision that needs to be reached, because they know it better, they feel the pain, they know exactly what is happening. Yeah.
Pick up somebody from township and begin to discuss for you to implement or to bring results. Those at the bottom, or those that live or feel the pains, will not be part of what is happening. Then that becomes a problem. So I strongly want to suggest that those from the region should be part of any decision, the making body that needs to make things move forward.
All right.
Thank you very much,
Honorable Prince Godwin Eniyenere, for coming on Niger Delta today. We appreciate your insight.
Yeah, please, for your information, my name is Godwin Eniyenere.
Eniyenere. Thank you very much.
Eniyenere is my name, not Eniyenere. Eniyenere. Godwin is my name.
All right.
Honorable Prince Godwin Eniyenere, Director General, Warri Uvwie Development Agency. We must thank you especially for coming on Niger Delta today.
Thanks for
Thank you.